Good Monday morning to you, and welcome to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi's Live Healthy, Be Healthy. I'm your host, Jim Tabor, along with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox of Doctors Nutrition. They are located on Cowan Road in Gulfport, just south of Pass Road. Our phone lines are 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. And this is where we invite you to call in and ask questions regarding today's topic or anything particular in your health that you've been thinking about over the weekend or since last week that you've been wanting to call in and ask about. So, but the phone lines are open to you. We will welcome your calls. So,
yes.
Have a good weekend?
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad?
Yeah.
This topic we're doing today,
Yeah.
non-alcoholic fatty liver.
Well, it's to differentiate between the regular fatty liver that for decades and decades and eons was caused from alcohol. I mean, that's typically why you saw in the olden days, 10, 15 years ago. That's
not really olden days, but...
Well, no, that's the olden days. It's 15, 20 years ago, okay. I mean, that was primarily the big reason you saw fatty liver was because of alcoholism, okay? And it was rare. It didn't see it that much, But now, now we have this non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So we're seeing people that have never taken a drink in their life show up with fatty liver disease. Matter of fact, we're seeing young people, kids even, teenagers and so on, showing up with fatty liver disease. And it's because it's because of the diet primarily. Sugar, and when you look at sugar and alcohol, I mean, basically the sugars and alcohols and simple carbohydrates, they're processed through the liver, same way.
The same way.
Yeah, they made into triglycerides and so on. And the ETOH or ethyl alcohol, it has one component that kind of makes you a little tipsy, but it also produces a lot of triglycerides. And those triglycerides are fats, so they're stored in the liver. And the problem is we're getting so many foods in our diet today that produce excess triglycerides, and add that to all the sugar that we're seeing in the diet, and we're seeing this buildup of what we call the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease.
One way I describe it a lot of times to people when they're talking, they're like, well, what does this mean? What is fatty liver? And I said, well, think about it this way. Your liver filters your blood, okay? Everybody knows that. It's a filter. Your liver is a filter.
True.
If you look at, like he talked about triglycerides, they're fats. And I always ask them, what would happen if you took a coffee filter and poured bacon grease in it? It would get clogged up.
Same concept.
It wouldn't drain.
Right.
And so that's just kind of a way people can think of it. It's a lot more complicated than that, and then unfortunately, when you get this fat buildup, it tends to make scarring in the liver. And so the bad thing is it starts damaging. And it's not just that you have fat sitting in the liver, because of course a lot of people have fat sitting everywhere.
More so than what we like to think about.
But it also starts scarring the liver, which can turn into cirrhosis. So a lot of people have been told they have fatty liver and they don't quite get how serious it can become.
Right.
Because it can become a very, very serious, even fatal condition.
Really?
Yes. And
matter of fact, they predict it to be one of the leading causes in the very near future for liver transplants.
Right. And a lot of people think, well,
And alcohol has nothing to do with it.
No, it's food.
It's food.
Now, people think, oh, well,
food.
that's somebody else that's going to get it. Actually, the statistics right now from 2015, I mean, all statistics are from a few years back, actually.
Right.
20 to 30% of the population today, including all kids, have non-alcoholic fatty liver. That's a lot. That's almost one in every three.
Because of the amount of sugar that they're eating.
Yes.
And if you're diabetic, it's
diabetics are 70% of all diabetics have it,
Wow.
and 90% of obese people have it. So, I mean, it don't mean that you have to be obese to have it, because we've seen some really thin people even be diabetic, and then and it's type 2 diabetes. Type 1, that's not the statistic for type 1, we're talking about type 2, because it is a direct link to what they call metabolic syndrome, which we talk about on the show constantly.
Right.
Which metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, we've called it, there's a lot of different names for the same thing, and which it means you don't handle sugar properly. And when you don't handle sugar properly, you increase triglycerides. When you increase triglycerides, you increase fatty liver.
And
so it's a never-ending cycle.
And she just brought up this thing about, okay, if you're morbidly obese, you've probably got it.
90%.
90%.
Chance.
All right. But even if you're thin, even if you, 5'7", weigh 120 pounds, you say, well, I'm not overweight. Just recently had this happen with a female. out of state, and she called in and she said, she kept complaining about pain in her upper right quadrant,
which is one of the symptoms.
I said, okay, go locally, go get them to check this out for you, because she buys stuff from us and has for years. And, of course, she's like 5'7", weighs 115 to 120 pounds. That's her weight.
That's thin.
Right. That's thin. So she goes, has it done, and she comes back with, oh my God, they told me I've got fatty liver. I said, yeah. I said, you can be, you can be thin and have a fatty liver. How is that possible? I said, well, they call it TOFI, T-O-F-I, thin on the outside, fat on the inside. And of course, that just melted her day right there. I mean, that did it, But okay, what happened? Well, she is thin, but she tends to eat, or did tend to eat, way too many carbohydrates because she didn't want to lose weight. She's tall, fairly thin, and if she eats a really good diet like I recommend, with meats and vegetables and nuts and things like that, and higher fat, actually good fats, okay, she starts losing weight. And she said, well, I don't want to get too thin. I said, okay, the only way to get rid of a fatty liver is to burn fat. Your body has to use that fat.
And really, like I said, the fatty liver thing, people are getting to where they've been told, so many people have been told that they think, I just have fatty liver. Just like, I just have diabetes. And people are kind of blowing it off. And it's really not, that's why we wanted to talk about it today specifically, because it's really not anything to blow off. People blow it off until it becomes a serious condition, which it can. Now, at first, there may be no symptoms.
Usually
the symptoms at first are probably just symptoms of metabolic syndrome, which is high blood pressure, weight gain in the middle, sometimes fatigue, but then you'll start having the right upper quadrant pain, and that's where the liver sits. And because the liver can even be enlarged and a little bit swollen when you have this
a little
too.
tender.
Yeah.
Now, the only way to confirm it is an ultrasound. Or, CT scans can show it. I shouldn't say the only way, the most common way.
Right.
Because, of course, CTs, MRI, stuff like that will also show fatty deposits in the liver.
And it's picked up incidentally.
But an ultrasound is usually what it's done, because it's just a cheaper test. Not all fatty liver has high liver enzymes. Now, a lot of people, that's what we see first, is their liver enzymes start elevating. Right. The liver enzymes only elevate after there's damage.
Okay. All right, we're going to talk more about non-alcoholic fatty liver in just a moment. Our phone lines are open, 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. And welcome back to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi's Live Healthy, Be Healthy. Jim Tabor, along with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox of Doctors Nutrition, located on Cowan Road in Gulfport, just south of Pass Road. We're talking about non-alcoholic fatty liver. I guess people think about liver problems or whatever, they start thinking about alcohol. Drinking too much alcohol.
Yeah,
and
that's
damage
typically
your liver.
Yeah, years ago, typically, if you showed up, like I said, a long time ago, back 20 years, if you showed up with with something like that, and incidentally a finding that they'd see, the first thing the doc had to think about was, okay, this patient's consuming a lot of alcohol, and it was just kind of a thing. That's where they went. Well, unfortunately, some of the docs still go there. And, they think alcohol first, but nowadays what we're seeing is this non-alcoholic, and it's actually, like I say, the fastest growing chronic condition in America.
What are the things you start looking out for? As far as
well,
you said people who are obese,
right?
Well, obviously,
normally. People that are type 2 diabetic.
Type 2 diabetic.
We see a lot of pre-diabetic.
Pre-diabetic.
And so if you start having sugar handling problems, start gaining weight in the middle. You start looking around look around where you are.
The muffin
How many
top,
people
they call it.
gain weight in the middle?
Yeah.
That's a sign. That right there.
There's your sign.
There's a sign. Now, like we said, you can be thin, but it's not the norm for the really thin people to have it. But it's possible.
It is possible.
But it's just not the norm. And so if you gain weight in the middle, fatigue is another thing. And of course, that could be so many different things. So we always recommend having lab work, because a lot of times it does show up as slightly elevated liver enzymes.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't.
We had a caller call in and wanted to know, is it reversible?
Yes.
It is. That's what we really wanted to get to, is if you catch it before it does too much damage to the liver. Now, there gets to be a point of cirrhosis that is not reversible. But when we see a lot of people, we have tons that we've seen over the years, because we do see so many, especially in this area.
And you hear of a lot of people that die of cirrhosis of the liver.
Right. And so we have definitely change in the diet, lowering the carbohydrate intake, lowering, like we talk about every week, lowering the sugar, lowering the carbs, eating the right kinds of fat, and lowering the caloric intake total. Eating less food.
That's the only one thing. People talk about, okay, what have you got for longevity? what she just said.
decrease caloric intake.
Don't eat as much food. That's
Yeah.
Right.
that's the one thing that has shown in lab animals and humans.
People eat too much.
Yeah.
As a general rule. I mean, if you watch people eat nowadays, they're giving way more food than if you go out to a restaurant. I mean, the amount
Oh,
of
yeah.
food that's brought to you is ridiculous. So,
And buffets down here are making them
yeah.
killing.
And they're killing them
And-
too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they're
they're-
actually
they're-
killing
yeah.
too. So, I mean, because people eat
No pun
huge.
intended.
I
No
mean,
pun
you
intended,
watch
right.
and people will pack their plate up. And that's really not doing you any good.
No.
So really diet change, exercise, everything that actually helps metabolic syndrome can actually help reverse fatty liver. And you can do it. And there's also some supplements that's had some really good research. Omega-3s,
Really, that's
omega-3 fatty acids.
yeah.
And one of the big things they're also showing that increases the fatty liver is the wrong kind of fats.
which oxidative fats is what leads up to that damage and that leading up to that cirrhosis thing. And if you got the wrong kind of fats, for instance, soybean oil, I won't mention
Which is
any
in
names.
every
It's
packaged
in
processed
everything,
foods.
right.
Yeah.
You start looking, there's soybean oil and everything. But a lot of the high omega-6s and the bad omega-6 oils, and you don't have enough of omega-3s to offset them. We even do a test called the Omega Check, which we've mentioned before, where you can look and see, are you getting enough omega-3s in relationship to your omega-6s that you're eating in your diet? And honestly, on the check that we've done on people, we've never had anybody have a good check if they didn't take omega-3 fish oil.
Yeah.
So,
And even some that were taking small
Is it
Even
more
though
prevalent
people-
as you age?
well,
mean,
we
yes,
need to-
usually.
The older that you get, there's less omega-3s in your body.
Well,
No, that's the diet.
That's the
Oh,
diet.
that's the diet.
That's
okay.
the diet.
Okay.
And we're seeing kids, I mean, of course, 30% of all kids right now have fatty liver. And we're seeing liver enzymes elevated in children. So because of fatty liver. And so that means they're already getting damaged. So they're going to have really bad, they're one of the ones that's going to have really bad problems because the more years you have it, the worse it is. And we hear constantly people saying, oh, but they're kids, they need to eat this junk. No, they don't.
No.
They don't. But we hear it every day. Oh, but they have
hear
to.
that one.
That's what they like. Well, you know what? I like it too, but I don't eat it. I mean, it's not just about what you like, it's about what you
This is
have
true.
to do to be healthy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it- you know-
A diet of Twinkies and Ding Dongs is not going to get you where you want to go. I
What we
promise
talk about on this show, unfortunately,
No, I love ding dongs, but I couldn't tell you the last time I had one. I'm seriously,
when we talk
I haven't.
about it, it's not that we think everybody should do it to not have any fun.
Right.
You know,
Moderation's a lot of it.
Well, here's the
but people's
problem.
And
moderation
making
is,
right-
what people think is moderation.
Moderation,
is not.
yes.
And
And
here's
making
the-
the right choices, too.
And here's the problem with moderation. You've been a really bad boy or girl for years and years and years, and you say, "Oh, well, I'll start with moderation." Ain't enough.
No.
Sorry,
To
you're going to have
reverse
to
something, you got to be strict.
You're going to
Yeah.
have to jump off the cliff without a parachute to get this one under control. I mean, you just forget it. It's
We've
what
seen,
it takes.
yeah, moderation don't help reverse it. Now, what people think is moderation is we'll only do it once a week. That's not moderation.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people that do it more often than you think.
All right, Yvonne from Gulfport is on the phone with us right now. Good morning, Yvonne. What's your question for the doctors?
My husband has the fatty liver.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But he also has diverticulitis.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of aggravating because with his stomach tore up and everything. So do y'all have, like you said, the omega-3s? Okay.
Yes.
Do y'all have like a supplement? Because he takes a lot of medication that would help reverse and might help with the diverticulitis too.
Well,
'Cause
you got to deal with the diverticulitis. There's
Actually,
no
the
doubt
one
about
thing that would help the diverticulitis and the fatty liver, and a study just came out in March of 2017, is probiotics.
Right.
Pro-
Huge.
yeah, probiotics was that.
He does take probiotics.
Okay, good. How much does he take? Because the dosage makes a difference too.
I don't quite know. My
Okay.
husband is on several medicines, but I mean, I tried to feed him good. He complains. He did cut the Cokes out.
Okay, good, because that's
Okay,
start
but what
one.
about Diet Cokes?
Yeah, Diet Cokes are bad too.
Bad too.
If you come by our store, because you're local, right?
Right.
Come by. We have a list of foods that you should be eating for that.
Low
And then
glycemic
also
diet.
we have different supplements. We have a lot of different supplements. And like I said, probiotics, you want to take at least 50 billion. Now, if it's like 1 billion, you'd have to take 50 a day. So I always think, we see a lot of people that are taking probiotics, but they're not taking a high enough dose to help a problem. For somebody that's healthy, that don't have a problem, that might be enough. But for somebody that has a problem, you need much higher doses. So
See,
you-
I pass you out every day. I work at the VA. I work
Okay.
in inpatient pharmacy. And I'm big on supplements. Forget the drugs. I see so many drugs going out in the pharmacy with the patients.
Yep.
that I'm big on supplement. I don't like taking,
Okay,
any
well,
kind of
good.
drugs.
Well, there's a lot, like I said, you asked what all you could do. I mean, milk thistle's good support for the liver.
Very good.
Omega-3s has definitely been shown. Vitamin E has a lot of studies on actual fatty liver, because what they find is that it actually slows the progression, and oxidative stress and not having enough antioxidants actually makes fatty liver progress faster, and so does not having enough probiotics.
Okay.
So also
Yeah.
slowing the progression is important as well.
Yes, he goes to the stomach doctor today, but he'll be telling they fine. But he's not. He's not doing nothing to get rid of, to reverse
Right, to reverse it. And diet and exercise is a big part. And you might want to bring him in and let us talk to him. Sometimes
Yeah.
it can come from you all day, but sometimes that don't do it.
No, you're right on that. But I know, right? Well, yeah, like I said, I pass out every day going to the VA,
Okay.
and I'm definitely going to have him talk to y'all because it's
Okay.
driving me crazy.
Okay,
Okay.
bring him in. That's what
Bring
we're
him
there
in.
for. Like I said,
We don't charge,
there's
so-
never
Yeah.
a charge for consultation.
There you go. Thanks for the call, Yvonne.
Thank you.
All right, our phone lines are 896-0713, 800-349-0713. They're open to you. We'll be right back with this week's special.
What do we, something else we see constantly?
Hepatitone Plus? Yeah.
I don't know if it's spelled right, but
Yeah, it's spelled right.
Is it?
I spelled it right
Okay.
off the
No,
bottom.
I think it's HEPE.
Nope.
No? Okay,
Nope.
okay.
It's
Okay.
right off the bottom.
Okay.
And welcome back. It's our final segment here on this morning's edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi's Live Healthy, Be Healthy. 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. Our phone lines are open to you. But tell us about this this special of the week, Hepatitone Plus. What does that do? Of course, I'm sure it helps fatty liver, but
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is it is designed specifically for the fatty liver buildup.
And it's a little different
a lot different.
makeup than a lot of the other liver products. A
Yeah.
lot of the liver products are for actual detoxification of the liver, which this does too, but in a little bit different way. Because if you try to detox a liver that's full of fat, it ain't going to work because it can't detoxify.
Can't.
So you got to try to help the fat in the liver, and this product is a combination of we got a mushroom, and we got cordyceps,
got,
and reishi mushroom, and schisandra, and burdock, and milk thistle. So it's a little bit different combination, but we've had good results with it with fatty liver. So where other products that are for detoxification, I think it's too much to try to force the liver to detoxify.
Yeah,
You got to get it better first.
The research goes back decades in showing that milk thistle is probably the most protective thing you can do for the liver. And so that that's the one thing is protect it while the other stuff,
Right.
the schisandra and so on, all
And
that
it's
stuff
actually
does its
a
job.
good antioxidant. We mentioned just a minute ago that the progression can be from oxidative stress and not having enough antioxidants.
Right.
And so milk thistle also has antioxidant properties.
Yeah.
So there's
Amazing.
a lot of stuff you can do for it. We do tell people though, no matter what you supplement, if you don't change that diet, it's probably not going to be reversed. I mean, we tell people that every day, is that you do have to change what you do because it's hard to if you keep doing what's
Old
causing
habits
the
are hard to
problem.
break.
It is,
especially when it comes to food.
especially down here.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we're in the South, so it makes it
okay.
even worse. Although the whole United
You ain't
States,
going to turn down Granny's biscuits and gravy. Let me tell you.
well,
Sorry,
what you-
Grandma.
I do.
What you do
but,
is you
I
make,
can't
you make
do
them
it. I just
differently.
can't do it.
Yeah.
I make biscuits out of almond meal.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's not made out of flour. I've actually
So you
made
can make the gravy
I make gravy
without-
too without
Yeah.
any of the
Well,
flour.
I've eaten your biscuits and everything,
Yeah.
and they're really, really good.
Yeah, so I mean, you can do it. It's just it takes a change.
Yeah.
And we do recommend people listening out there, if you want recipes to find out, okay, how can I make something without all the, go look at Paleo. Paleo just has so many recipes online.
Yeah.
And if you type in paleo and anything you want to make, it'll tell you a different way to make it.
Yeah, if you say paleo biscuits or paleo
Paleo
whatever,
bread or
you know,
whatever,
yeah.
it'll
tell you.
bring you up something.
Now, y'all have stuff on your website, though, too.
We have some.
Some.
Not much.
Some stuff.
Not
and I know
much, but-
one thing that you've been working on for a while is a cookbook.
Yeah, but don't bring that up because I didn't know we're close. But
I said you've been working on it.
I have it.
We're going to get her in here one day, and we're
We're
going to get her on the
scribbled.
cooking set and let her cook something up and show you just how easy it is to cook healthy
Right.
and to eat really well and enjoy great food, without, I mean, I don't want to say compromising, but
No.
you can cook healthy and eat healthy and do better for yourself.
Because
and it's
you know,
simple.
We've done it for years, and he has to do it. He
Yeah.
is one that actually in the past, his liver enzymes were elevated 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Before he started eating that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried the vegetarian diet, didn't
I've
help.
tried
he
everything.
tried everything. We had to go the real low carb diet. It's the only thing that actually helped. And here's a question from Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie from Pascagoula, is it
Lecithin.
lecithin help the liver?
Definitely.
will.
And it does actually specifically help fatty liver. It contains something called phosphatidylcholine, which is actually real, and you can take phosphatidylcholine by itself or lecithin, either one. We like using the sunflower lecithin just because I'm not a big fan of soy. But
Yeah.
you can either one has the phosphatidylcholine in it, and it definitely helps with the fatty liver.
It sure does. Again, and we keep, we're okay. This is Sunday sermon. You get preached to. Okay, we have to go back and reiterate. You have to change your diet. But if you change your diet, Ronnie, and you've done that, and you add the lecithin, you're
It
doing
really
something really
works.
good.
Yeah.
Doing
It really
something
does
good.
help.
Okay. All right, 896-0713, 800-349-0713. We have a little less than 4 minutes left in the show, so if you have a question for the doctors regarding today's topic or anything, any other topic regarding your health, please feel free to call in. A lot of, down here we eat a lot of seafood.
Yeah,
Yes.
seafood's
So
fine.
Seafood's good
Seafood's
for you.
fine.
As long
Oh,
as
yeah.
it's not breaded and fried.
Well,
Okay, that's
True.
what you got to look at. When you start putting the breading, that's the carbs. And then
And
you
if-
fry it in bad oil.
And they
So it's
usually
kinda-
fry it in bad oil. I'm
So
sorry.
it's
but,
a
yeah.
combination of things. So we.
so
eat a
even
lot
though
of
you batter it
seafood.
in I'm thinking extra virgin olive oil. I've heard more
Well, the
and more here
problem
lately
is
that
you
that's
saute
good for
with
you.
You can saute with that. You're not supposed to fry with olive oil.
Okay.
You don't want to get
Because
it too hot.
if you heat it over about 325, it damages the oil, and then it is not as good for you anymore.
Okay.
So you do have to look at oils and what the point.
So
they're
what are
supposed to
some
go
good
to.
oils?
We actually use more of macadamia nut oil, walnut oil, avocado oil. That's the
Yeah.
kind of oils I cook
Rice
with.
bran
the
oil.
rice bran oil.
And you carry some of this
I do.
in
Yeah.
your
We
store.
do because some of them are hard to find around here.
Yeah, they do have a great little food section over there at Doctor's Nutrition.
It's a
that you can
small
find lot of-
section,
Very
but,
yeah, a little
but
small
it does
section,
have
but
some
still.
cooking things like that that's harder to find.
But for those of you that like spaghetti, they got pasta in there, the spaghetti. That,
Right, but it's still from rice. It's a gluten-free, and it's better than the other, but if you actually have that fatty liver, you shouldn't even be doing that.
Okay, all right. Rodney is on the phone with a question this morning. Good morning, Rodney. What's your question for the doctors?
Yes, I'm wondering, I weigh 296 pounds.
Okay,
Is there any kind of diet that y'all can give me to help me lose weight?
definitely.
Definitely, you need to come by though. It's going to take way more than the next couple
What
of
I always
minutes.
say is we have a sheet that we'll give you that tells you, basically it's a lower carbohydrate diet.
Right.
And we also have a weight loss panel. It's like $160, but it looks
Yeah.
for all the underlying reasons that you may be overweight and makes sure that there's nothing there that some people change their diet and they still don't lose. And that's what that looks for is underlying problems that will make it to where you can lose weight if you
Right.
fix it. So,
All right.
thank you.
Do it all the
And,
time, right?
If you're wondering where they're located at, it's on Cowan Road in Gulfport, south of Pass Road, right across the street from the old Kmart Garden Center. And they are open Monday through Friday from 10 to 5:30. You do have Brooke there and Rick in the morning time, a
At
little bit
8.
earlier.
The
at 8
lab
o'clock.
opens at 8
The
o'clock.
lab opens at 8 for
Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, Monday through Thursday. But like I said, we're not there to go over labs until 10. So
Right.
we do tell people.
Right. And Jim and Janine are there Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Dr. Bull is there Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday, 11 to 2, but they're only open to pick up, new refills, things
Except
like
this
that.
week, Dr. Bull has a new baby.
Yes, congratulations, Kenny. I saw that on Facebook
Yeah.
the other
Yep.
day that he's
Brand new baby.
brand new baby, new
Baylor.
daddy.
So Baylor, he's a little boy.
Yeah.
And so he'll be out for the next few days.
Okay. All right. So congratulations to him for for his being another daddy.
Another daddy, right, yeah, he
'cause
already
he's
has
got-
two, we got one more.
Another one. So
Yep.
anyway, let's next week a little bit different twist.
Yeah.
What are we going to be talking about?
Well, it's something that comes up all the time, and people coming in, and we thought it really does make sense to do it. It's called taking care of the caretaker.
Right. We see a lot of caretaker stress
Mm-hmm.
and things that you can do if you are a caretaker and it's taking a toll on your health.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. So be sure you tune in next Monday morning, bright and early at 9
That's right.
o'clock. We do this every Monday morning live. So go out and have yourself a wonderful week. Stay out of the sun if you have to.